know I'm still not Corey, and I'm also still not a conservative, but the people making the memes that we're looking at today probably are. Yeah. But before we start the video, why don't you go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's what lets me make these videos for you. You could get a whole bunch of cool stuff if you join, like bonus videos and early videos. You could also check out my merch. We've got stupid baby t-shirts and a whole bunch of gay stuff if that's more your style. Also, a question. Get down to the comments and let me know, what is your favorite meme? Like your favorite meme format or favorite meme from this video? I don't know. Get down there and let me know. This meme says, I've accomplished so much in my life as a scientist. I raised 5 scientists. See, this is interesting. It's like a trad wife sort of thing up against a woman that wants to go and be a scientist. And ultimately, I don't get why this meme is trying to make the point that it's trying to make, because both of these things hold value. It's down to what you want. I think it's pretty obvious what this meme is trying to say, that women shouldn't be scientists. That's why all the scientists that she raised are men, right? It's just such a strange claim to make, because men can raise children too, you see. So why didn't these 5 scientists raise more scientists? Why didn't they then raise scientists and then they then raise scientists? Why are they so selfish and trying to be scientists themselves when they could add more scientists to the world by simply raising them? This is really dumb logic. It's so bloody stupid. It's trying to say that you can have more value as a person if you raise someone to do the thing rather than doing the thing yourself. And yes, in a very, very objective sense, you can add more value to the world by raising more people to do something than just doing it yourself. There's the time lag there, but like ultimately, yeah, it is maybe better to add 5 scientists to the world than it is to add 1 scientist to the world. But what this thing misses is that it's down to the person's bloody choice, right? If you want to be a scientist, then go and be a scientist. Life is not just about the raw objective value that you add to the world. You've also got to do it in a way that is valuable to you. So if you're a woman and you want to be a scientist, then be a scientist. Like it's so strange to me. Like if you want to be a trad wife, if you want to live your little trad wife life, go ahead and do that. And just let everyone else do what they want to do, right? Like you are no more valuable than any other person because you choose to raise children. You're really not. That's what you want to do. Great. Good for you. If someone else wants to be a scientist, then go and let them be a scientist, because people are individuals. For all you know, this one scientist that's worked their entire life could contribute more value than the 5 scientists raised by a trad wife mother, right? Like, dearie me. And to be clear here, my criticism is not that raising kids is less valuable than being a scientist. My point is that you should be able to choose. Both of these things are valuable. Both of these things are important. Both of these things are great things to do with your life if that's what you want to do. It's just about choice. And I think this is something that these trad wives and like trad people forget or don't realize or just ignore, is that people don't dislike you because of specifically what you do. It's the lack of choice involved. It's the trying to impose it on other people, right? If you want to go ahead and live that kind of life, do it. Just don't tell other people that that's what they should be doing, you know? To be honest, when it comes to telling someone what to do with their life, the only thing that you should be telling them about what they should do is that they should do what they want, right? Like that's the advice that you should give. Not, you should do this thing that I find valuable. You should do that thing that I find valuable. You should do what you find valuable. That is the really important thing. Don't build your life around what someone else wants you to do. Build your life around things that make you happy, things that bring you joy, things that you want to do. This is the thing, right? It's not bad for anyone of any gender to be a stay-at-home parent, in the same sense that it's not a bad thing for anyone of any gender to be the breadwinner. What is bad is expecting someone to do something because of their gender. This is how your life is going to go because you were born with this between your legs. That's how it works. I'm sorry. That is ridiculous. It's such a stupid way to build a society. Let people do what they want to do. And if they're passionate about it, they'll probably do quite well. Like that is how we should organize the world. Let people do what they want, regardless of the expectations that we place on them based on how they were born, right? This meme on the face of it seems like it could be making a point, but it just isn't. It's just not. It's just so silly. If you want to raise kids, raise kids. Let the people that don't want to do that do what they want to. This one, posted by Representative Andy Biggs from Arizona, says Disney, but the D in it's a hammer and sickle. It's communist Disney. Disney is communism. Disney is communism. I'm convinced that quite a number of Americans use communism to mean thing that I do not like, because Disney is almost as far from communism as you can get. Disney is a business that operates for profit. Disney is very, very, very capitalist. Disney is not a communist company. Just perhaps look in the news and see maybe how Marvel is treating VFX artists. That doesn't sound very communist, does it? People do this a lot. Disney sometimes does kind of progressive-y stuff because they want to make money. And people will then say, oh, Disney's woke, Disney's communist, this and that. Like, no. Disney wants your money. Disney will do anything so long as they get your money. Disney's views as a company are based on your money. Disney's values and beliefs as a company are based on your money. They don't give a shit about anything else. All they want to do is take your money, and they will mold themselves to fit whatever that looks like, whatever the best money-making machine is. That's what they do. I don't think it's a bad thing to criticize Disney, but if you're gonna do it, you should probably actually criticize Disney, because this is not a criticism based on that company. Like, at all. It just really isn't. You're saying, I don't like this thing. This one says, not to get too political, but Lucifer was the original fact checker. This is Eve in the garden saying to a snake, but God said if I eat it, I'll die. And the snake responds, independent fact checkers have proven this to be false. I love this meme. This meme is perfect. This meme is shooting yourself in the foot. This meme is just admitting that you like to spread lies. Because the fruit didn't kill her. It doesn't kill her. The snake is right. Like, that is a fact. It is literally a fact. And by literally, I mean in the context of the literature of the Bible. This meme is saying that fact-checking is bad, not because fact-checkers lie or twist the truth or anything like that, but because fact-checking is bad in and of itself. Like, it's just saying fact-checking like the devil did. If that is what the devil did, then objectively, the devil was the good one in that situation. I think maybe God shouldn't have lied. Maybe God should have just said, I'll give you the knowledge of good and evil. I think you shouldn't eat it. There you go. Right? Like, giving people more information is not a bad thing. Letting people make informed choices is a good thing. If you have people spreading misinformation, disinformation, lies, it is good to have something to rely on that says, hey, here is the truth. That was a lie, here is the truth. Like, that is objectively a good thing. If you're against fact-checking in, say, a political context, then you're probably not too hot on democracy, right? And you're probably thinking, no, I do like democracy. I don't like fact. No, you don't like democracy, you see, because a big part of democracy is actually knowing what the it is that you're voting for, which you can't do if people just lie. I don't understand how you could be against fact-checkers unless you think that they're all lying, which is kind of some conspiracy stuff, right? Because if every fact checker is bad, then there must be some kind of central reason that they are all bad, because it's so unlikely for every single fact checker to say the same thing and for that thing to be totally false, right? Like, something else must be involved there. So I feel like the people that are genuinely against fact checkers are living on a different planet from us. Like, just mentally speaking, they are away, like off in the clouds. You know, when you're faced with factual information that disagrees with your worldview, you can either take it in and modify your worldview to fit that new information, or you can just reject it and carry on doing what you're doing. And these people seem to just be rejecting it and carrying on doing what they're doing, but they're so proud of it. Like, they're saying, oh yes, fact checkers are the devil. Like, if you are so against facts, if you are so against having a worldview that is based on evidence, that you will outright say fact checkers are bad, you are so far gone, right? Like, that is insane to me. How can you have a conversation with someone that just rejects facts that don't already agree with their preconceived notions? It's so insane. This one is from Charlie Kirk, and it seems that liberals are having a hard time deciding which of these is true, whether 7-year-olds can change their gender, or whether 18-year-olds can't be trusted with guns, because clearly neither of these things can be true at the same time. Either children are too immature to make decisions, or they're mature enough to make decisions. It can't be both. Never mind that those decisions are absolutely different things, right? So many conservative arguments only seem to make sense in meme form, and the reason for that is that as soon as you scratch away the surface, that surface level of the meme, dig a little bit deep, it just falls apart, because there's nothing there. There's nothing there beyond the surface level. That's why the meme works so well, but the actual argument itself doesn't, because there is no argument. There's none. Taking this meme as an example, why don't we look at the differences between a 7-year-old changing their gender and an 18-year-old having a gun? So an 18-year-old with a gun, I could imagine, could injure quite a lot of people using said gun, and 7-year-olds couldn't injure that many people with their gender. I don't think those numbers quite match up there. A 7-year-old changing their gender wouldn't have to make any permanent changes. An 18-year-old with a gun could make some very permanent changes to people's lives by ending them, or, you know, by severely injuring them, or by mentally scarring them. These are all things that could happen with an 18-year-old with a gun. Not really things that could happen with a 7-year-old with a gender. See, the key point here is that these conservatives either don't understand or are actively obfuscating the facts surrounding children transitioning. A 7-year-old who is changing their gender or choosing their gender isn't doing anything permanent. A 7-year-old would perhaps change their name, change their pronouns, and change their haircut. These are all things that can be changed back quite easily. They make no lasting changes, do no lasting damage. But these conservatives also know that when transition is brought up, when changing gender is brought up, when choosing gender is brought up, that people start thinking about surgeries and hormones. And if you put that next to a 7-year-old, people will be saying, oh, you're giving a 7-year-old life-changing surgery? You're sterilizing a 7-year-old? You're putting them on hormones and hormone blockers? Look, 7-year-olds will not go on hormone blockers unless they're going through puberty, in which case they should be on hormone blockers because that's too early for puberty for a child, right? Like 7 years old. You do not know what you're talking about. But the fact is that it doesn't happen. 7-year-olds don't get transition-related hormones or even hormone blockers because they're 7. They have yet to go through puberty. And they also don't have transition-related surgeries because the surgeries that people have for transition can only really be done after puberty. If you're worried about 7-year-olds choosing their gender, don't be. All that's happening is you're making sure that a kid is safe, happy, and comfortable and confident in themselves. Trans people exist. Trans children exist. Acting like a child cannot know their gender is just going to cause harm to children. And if your whole thing is protecting kids, then trans kids should be protected too. You should care about them also. Stop harming kids just because they don't fit into your tiny preconceived ideas of what people should be. Ultimately, a gender and a gun are two very, very different things. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get down to the comments and let me know what your favorite meme is, either from this video or just favorite meme in general. Also, check out my Patreon, because you can get a lot of cool stuff, like your name going past here. These are all of my patrons, and I've got some patrons to shout out and thank, so I'm going to thank them now. Thank you to Prince of Horror, Adam Black. Thank you to Maul, Christopher A. Butler, Ataraxia25, Denito, Utterly Casey, and Brad the Music Duck. I think that is all from me. Goodbye.